You're creeping out. Blake loves creeping out. Hey, welcome to episode 114 of Front Seat Gamer, and welcome to the year 2020. We're living in the future, except we don't have hovercrafts or anything yet.
Maybe you don't.
We got hovercrafts. That's the thing.
Oh, that's true, actually.
Yep.
Yeah. But we don't have,
Actually, yeah, we have had hovercrafts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Since the 80s.
Yeah, been around for a long time now that I think
Yeah.
about it.
But
We
like hoverboards.
Oh, there was that one. Anyway, I'm
We
here with...
got those wheelie things that are called
my God.
hoverboards, but
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
just...
But they're not real
they're just,
hoverboards.
that's just marketing.
We're already off the rails. Blake is here,
Hey, Nick, I'm here.
and Saveun is here too.
Yo.
How's it going, guys?
Pretty good.
You guys play anything?
Nope.
I wanted to. I really wanted to. But I watched more things than I played.
Okay.
So I was catching up on movies mainly.
What'd you watch?
Ad Astra. I watched Ad Astra.
Oh, what'd you think of that?
It's good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Hey, welcome to Front Row Movie, and
Front seat movie.
That was that's such a weird movie. I had no idea what to expect going into watching that.
Same, yeah.
Yeah. and
I just saw posters for it.
Yeah, it's like this. Like, it's mostly just.
It's about conflict.
It's just Brad Pitt thinking about stuff in his head.
Yep.
While he's like
he's
out
torn.
in space.
He's torn. He's got like, motivations. He's a
Yeah.
guy. He's complex.
It's such a strange movie. I think it's a strange ass movie,
I haven't.
and it's a very
heard anything about
quiet.
it.
It's a very quiet movie with a lot of like looking out into space.
Do you know about this movie?
No.
Tommy Lee Jones is in it.
Yep.
Will
Oh.
Smith.
No.
No,
no.
But Brad Pitt's in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And saw the Joker. That was good too.
They saw the Joker in space.
I saw the Joker.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
That one's like a contender for all the awards.
Yep. Man, the Joker's really good.
Haven't seen it.
You got to get on it.
Break that new TV in.
Yep. Yeah. What a perfect movie to.
Bought a new
It's dark,
TV.
man.
Yeah.
That's Saveun breaking that news. Yeah. Wait, okay. Well, let's talk a little bit about video games. How about that? Since this is a podcast called Front Seat Gamer. Also, I want to cover some ground real quick. Last time we had a normal podcast with the three of us was in October. It's now January.
October.
Oh no,
Was it October?
November?
It was maybe a week before
Early
ExileCon
November,
or 2 weeks before
mid-November.
ExileCon.
Yeah. So, but there has been a whole ExileCon and a Christmas, and a
Yeah.
New Year,
And a Chinese New Year.
and a China. Is that?
Oh, it's happening right now.
That was yesterday.
According to
I
Steam.
celebrated it.
Did you?
Yeah.
What'd you
Yeah.
do?
Had a big dinner.
Nice.
Watched Ad Astra.
Oh, classic Chinese
No,
movie.
just there were a lot of red envelopes, a lot of food.
Oh,
yeah.
I love those red
Wow.
envelopes.
Yeah. It's great.
I didn't even because I used to live in town, so like the Lantern Festival and all that stuff was like all over the place. But
Yep.
out here, like I had no idea. It was like Steam is the thing that told me because
Oh.
they've got a lunar festival like sale on.
Mm.
Yep. It's on.
Any video games related to that?
I've been
Nick, you
getting
keep
into-
you keep banging on about these video games.
Sorry, you're right. I won't bring it up again.
Do you want to talk about ExileCon a little bit?
Sure. Let's talk about ExileCon.
I
You
liked
guys remember much?
Yeah.
We had a meetup.
We
Yeah.
did. We had a meetup. Thank you to everybody who came to the meetup. I don't know. Did you talk about this in the episode you did?
I talked a little bit about it, but like I was the only one there, so I was just saying, hey, we had this meetup and it was great.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
great. We got to eat pizza presto, which I spent all of last week eating as well, coincidentally.
Whoa.
The whole week.
Well, from like
Celebrating that
Tuesday to yesterday.
celebrating that Chinese New Year.
Yes, that's how I do it.
Yep.
With pizza.
Yep.
The traditional food of China. What else happened? We did lots of talks. We were on the live stream for an hour.
Oh
with,
yeah.
Yeah.
Tarka Cat.
Mhm.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Mhm.
How did you guys feel about that?
Going into it, pretty good.
Yeah.
Coming out of it, poor performance. 2 out of 5 stars.
Oh man.
Wow.
Yeah,
harsh.
Well, that's
Really?
me
Why?
me criticizing me. You guys
Okay.
did great.
Yeah.
I think.
I, as I'm sure you guys noticed, was slipping into the old dynamic of being
the host.
The host around you
Yeah.
guys.
Both me and Sav were looking at you for like host, like fill in the thing, and not looking at the actual
Fill
not
in
looking
the
at
thing.
Dark
Dude, by thing, you mean silence?
Yes. It was great though. There was something like I don't know
Was
how
it 1 hour? That was 2 hours, right?
No, it was 1 hour.
Oh shit!
Did you
It
say
felt
it,
like
it
2
felt
hours.
like it went quick? I thought.
Yeah, me
Okay.
too.
They got to a point where like we were in the last like 5 minutes because they'd come up with the signs,
Mm.
and I was telling some story, and I was like, shit, I don't want to take up all the time here,
Mm.
like talking.
And yet you did anyway. No.
Yeah, I did. Well, hey, you got to fill in that silence.
Yeah. I thought that was really fun. Apologies to Tarka Cat for over-hosting you.
No,
at
it was
times.
It was
But I
great.
think it worked out well.
He talked a little bit about it on one of his podcasts
Yeah.
afterwards, and he seemed to really enjoy it.
Yeah, that was fun.
There was a thing that like really put me off though. That I think I
the
told you guys
screen.
about this. There's a screen.
Monitor.
Yeah. Like you can't see it on the actual thing because it's like facing us,
Yeah.
but it's just a screen of where the camera is, like
Of what they're showing.
of what they're showing.
Yeah.
And it really put me off seeing myself. I had to seriously like not look at it.
You're not meant to.
Well, I don't know why it's there. I don't like it being there.
It's there if you want.
I'll just like put a blanket over it. I don't want.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah.
deny us.
Yeah. I don't
Just
know.
don't look at
I don't want to.
By the way, why are you always carrying a blanket around? It's a real
You never
strange
know.
habit of
You never
yours.
know when you want to
Cover
like
something
cover a
up.
screen up.
That's true. I thought that XLCon as a whole went really well, even with the minor and major glitches here and there.
Major.
Well, like the
The race.
race, we had to restart.
Oh okay.
I thought the card game was a big success from like a player standpoint,
Yeah.
and a logistical nightmare from our standpoint.
Oh man, so funny.
You were on the crafting bench.
I was on the crafting
for,
bench.
like several hours, right?
Oh god, that was so exhausting.
yeah.
It was like the Christmas rush at like a major retail chain nonstop. It was
I
rough.
saw this thing where I might have talked about this on the last time I was on, but I was standing around. I was like Fairgrave, so I was like standing around and stuff, and I was talking to some of the other guys while I was on. People were coming up and stuff, and I looked around and like people are like looking down, looking at their cards. They're like so into this game, and then Chris Wilson just sort of runs by about a dozen people, and they don't even notice that he just like run straight by them.
They're looking at cards.
They're too busy looking at their cards. And I was like, whoa, some people, he probably like nudged some people as he went by.
Oh jeez,
like
like
people
he's
have-
such a jerk.
Yeah, he just pushed people out of the way. But like some people, they were like inches away from Chris Wilson and they didn't even know.
The superstar
Yeah.
of the show.
Yeah.
Chris Wilson.
Well,
Yeah.
people were hunting him down. Like you saw,
Oh yeah, true.
you saw the crowds after ExileCon just swarmed him.
in the after party.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I've got a clip of this huge line of people just
Yeah.
like queuing up to have a conversation with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and getting
Nuts.
stuff signed.
Yeah.
But you did a lot of like stage
I did
stuff.
do. I did. I was on stage for 2.25 hours, 2.5 hours, something like that,
Wow.
on the main stage, and then we did that hour stream. So I was
Man, you were
Up
doing
for a while.
crafting for like several
yes,
hours,
I was.
right?
I did crafting probably for like 7 or 8 hours over the course of
Oh,
2 days.
man.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I was just enjoying it, man.
I know. I was kind of really annoyed at you because you were just walking around
Hanging out.
enjoying the convention,
Yep.
and I was like, "Hey, where are you meant to be?" And you're like, "Nowhere."
Yeah. Went out and grabbed ramen.
Oh, what? You went out? That's
What?
incredible.
Yeah, it was really good.
Man.
Infuriating.
Yeah.
Played mobile.
I didn't even get a chance to play mobile. I
Okay.
still haven't had a chance to play mobile.
No, I haven't played mobile for like months.
The mobile version of
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
It's good.
Like I play.
Oh yeah, we announced PoE Mobile. We announced
Yep.
Path of Exile 2.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that was great
All
because
the
like
big announcements.
the mobile announcement, right? You could tell people were like, "Huh, this is a funny joke."
Yeah.
and
then they're like, "Wait a minute."
Yeah. And then you could feel it in the room that there was a switch.
Yep.
Oh, it's so great.
Well, yeah, I think the switch was when we started showing gameplay,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
actually
They're like,
engaging
wait
in
a
gameplay.
minute.
Yeah.
The
Go
yeah,
ahead.
we talked about this on the live that live stream as well, but like when the announcement happened, right, and like the roar from the crowd,
Yeah.
dude, I was fucking blown away.
It was electric.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could feel it, man.
I've straight up never experienced something like that.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What have you guys been playing any video games at all? Like I know, Blake, you have been playing Civilization.
I have been playing Civilization.
Is that the main game over there?
That was one of the main games. I played that for probably about a week.
Yep.
The one single marathon session. I
Huh.
restarted it. I got to a point in that last one, once again, where I was like, I feel like I've won this. It got too easy. I was so far advanced in technology that I was like, this is a joke. I felt like I was the antagonist of this entire world.
Yeah.
Because
difficulty
all
were
the
you playing
nations were. I was like, they've got like, I think 8 difficulties, and I was somewhere in the middle. So I started the next game, ramped the difficulty up twice.
Huh?
Much more challenging, surprisingly.
Question: are there win conditions?
Yeah. Well, in the last game there was also win conditions,
Oh.
but I downloaded a mod where I cannot see how my ranking in that. And like, because that was the thing, really. I didn't like seeing how far ahead or behind I was in things, because it then made me feel like I had to, like, pursue a certain
Victory.
victory, yeah,
Yeah.
or at least like stay ahead in
Yes.
as many as possible. You know, like there'll be like religious, like I'll start building religious stuff and focusing on religion when I don't really like want to.
It reveals a little too much.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, and I don't like how you can see that information before you even have discovered the other civilizations. So just right off the bat, you can see, oh, I'm ranked like 6 out of 8 here, and I've not ever met a single other civilization. It's just really weird.
Yeah.
I played some a game that also does that is Endless Space 2, which I played a little bit of.
Endless Space 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But that, like, I cannot find a way to turn that off, and it just straight up shows all your score and all this stuff, like how where you rank.
That should all be hidden.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
What's annoying too is that it's in Civilization it's a separate panel,
Yeah.
but in Endless Space, if you hover over the end turn button for like just a little bit too long, it just pops up.
Interesting.
So you can like. You can easily miss it, but like if you're just sitting there and you're like, oh, okay, end turn, and you're thinking about it, and then
It'll pop up.
it pops up, and you're
Yeah.
like, oh
Spoilers.
shit, yeah. It's like, it feels like a spoiler. Yeah. But yeah, I played more Civ, restarted, bumped up the difficulty.
Yeah.
It was a lot more fun, a lot more challenging right off the start. I like got into a war with like England.
What nation were you playing as?
I was playing as the Moldy Nation.
Okay.
Yep.
So that rings true. Yes.
Actually, yeah.
I know a little bit of New Zealand history. At this
Yeah,
point.
yeah. That is actually kind of true. But then I managed to like fend them off, and I eventually got into like a trade, like a trade alliance with them. So we ended up being like pretty good allies. But then eventually I did sort of like pull ahead in technology, and when I stopped playing, I had giant killer robots.
Okay.
Which is what they're actually called,
Yeah.
the giant killer robots. And I was bullying the Aztec Empire with them.
Perfect.
Because the Aztecs were sitting on all this uranium, and they were still in the Middle Ages. And I was like, oh, you guys, you're not even using this stuff. I should just come in here and like,
Wow.
I'll just take this stuff for you. And they've got like declaring war is a little bit different, I think, than in previous ones, because you can there's all these different types of war. You can just have total war, where it's like, I'm just going to attack you
That's a
and just
different
kill
game.
you. Yeah, that is a different. Yeah, but it's like that.
Okay.
But then there's other types of war, and there's like one that was called like a colonial war, and the requirements for that is that you have to be so advanced beyond the people that you're trying to take over that
You could just roll
colonize
over.
them.
Wow.
You can just roll into them.
Wow. So is that what you did to the Aztecs?
I chose a different type of war, which was like,
It's weird that you could choose the type of war you engage.
well,
in.
yeah, it depends on how many like requirements
Mm.
you match. Like, there's religious wars and stuff that you can like you like I don't know exactly what you need for the religious wars, but like, yeah, you at a certain
Probably
point,
differing religions.
yeah, something like that. But like the one I chose was like a territorial war, which was like I had a city on their sort of island,
Uh-huh.
and because I'd set that up, that gave me access to territorial war because I had a city neighboring theirs.
Mm.
So I could just start taking over from there. Because the colonial war I won, I was like, man, this seems a bit rough.
You mean
Like you're straight up the bad guy.
yeah. I kind of wish you had done a colonial war to England.
Actually, yeah,
would've-
that
a nice little
I could've.
reversal.
Yeah. But again, in that game, like the difficulty seemed to really like level off later on.
Mm.
Like I had a lot of trouble at the start with England. We were fighting with like spearmen and like
Yeah.
clubmen, and like it was some low level stuff.
Yeah.
But then once I got into like the modern age and more, like I was way more advanced than everybody else, and
Mm.
I got to like killer robots pretty quickly.
So you need to up the difficulty again. It sounds like.
Yeah, maybe. There's also a thing that like because we played a lot of Stellaris.
Yeah.
And that game is really great for giving you extra stuff to do in peacetime.
Uh huh.
Because like events
Yes.
will happen, things will like there's the crises that pop up where like
Mhm.
a whole new faction just shows up and is at war with everyone. And Civ, I feel like needs something
It does
like
need
that.
something
Yeah,
like
because
that, I agree.
if your world is just like my world was basically peaceful for the majority of the time, and that's why I felt like the antagonist that was like poking these other nations, being like,
Mm.
"Come on, do something, you guys."
Yeah, it does need something.
Yeah.
Saveun, did you play
Yo.
anything?
Yeah, kind of. I'm getting more into like game development stuff right now, though.
Interesting.
I downloaded Houdini. Do you know what that is?
A magician.
Yeah, I downloaded that.
That's
Do you know what it is? Blake?
I've seen people mess with it. I sort of know what it is.
I picked it up, Friday, and
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm gonna start learning Houdini.
cool.
That'd be really cool. There are some guys at work that know it. And yeah, I saw a thing, just like a really kind of advanced like boulder rock generation thing,
Mm.
and oh yeah, I was hung up on like making trees like over the holidays.
Wow.
Because
Speed tree. What?
well,
Christmas trees?
any old tree, just in 3D.
Uh huh.
But if you look around, like they all kind of look shit in like video games, trees in general.
Yeah, because they're
Um,
usually very simple.
Yeah, and then it's just spammed foliage,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. But yeah, you can out in Takapuna Beach, there are like these really old ass trees, and like they've got like vegetation on them, moss, vines, this kind
Mm.
of stuff. It almost looks like its own ecosystem. And yeah, I was just messing around in Maya.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I need to start using Houdini.
Mm.
It's like a procedural modeling tool.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, but okay, cool.
But yeah, every like movie, every ILM post production house would use Houdini.
Mm.
It's really advanced. They do like a lot of physics simulation, particle stuff.
Nice. Who makes it?
A company called Side Effects.
Okay, interesting.
It's really cool. Their reels are like their show reels.
Yeah.
Really awesome.
Nice. Maybe we can put an example of that on Facebook.
Have they got a whole range of stuff, or is it just Houdini that they do?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think they've got one other thing. I can't think of it right now, but it's mainly Houdini.
Yeah.
Didn't a Red Dead expansion come out over the Christmas Eve?
Expansion.
They had a few expansions. They had like Boot. What was it like? The whole moonshine thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was
I
that?
haven't played it.
Oh man.
Oh.
Yeah.
Have
Interesting.
you bought the PC, right?
Yep.
You were
I brought the PC.
You bought the PC.
Yeah, but
How much
I
of-
just hadn't been playing it much.
Oh, okay. How much of the PC version did you get through?
Oh, it's the same.
Yeah,
Like,
I
the
know,
story's the
but
same.
like
the
this
online
is you we're
stuff?
talking about.
Yeah. Not too much because friends that I'd play with just aren't getting on it, so
Yeah.
there's no real incentive.
Mm. Not even the single player.
Because I played through it and I know what happens.
Yeah.
yeah, I kind of don't want to.
Was it the multiplayer that was like keeping you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of. But also I was going through like video files that I'd captured on my PlayStation.
Yeah.
There's this one moment in the game, and I happened to come across it, and just to see how I played through it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it happens, and you kind of don't realize that it happened, but it's full of cutscenes throughout.
Mhm.
I just didn't remember it as that striking at that time.
Mm.
And did you play through it?
I need to get back to it.
Okay, there's this moment.
Is this
and
a spoiler?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay, spoiler alert.
A lot of things hang on it.
Skip ahead a couple minutes.
Anyway, I just watched through me playing it.
Yeah.
And thought nothing of it,
Uh-huh.
and it's pretty cool
What,
because all the events that follow kind of play. off
okay,
of it.
so it was a key moment in the story that you
Yeah.
didn't realize was a key moment.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
but they actually like
Okay.
have a whole bunch of cutscenes and stuff, and you kind of don't realize what's
Huh.
happening. Like it's just a regular
Yeah,
moment.
Right.
that's cool.
Still epic, like that story. It's pretty cool. I
Cool.
don't think I have the time to play it again.
Mm.
You know.
What's the strangest thing you've found in that game?
Oh, there's like a it's like a it almost looks like a school, like a room
Okay.
just out in the middle of nowhere,
Yeah.
and there's like a desk up the front, and it's
Uh-huh.
just full of bunks,
Huh.
and it's got candles everywhere, and it was almost like people came down with some kind of disease, and they all just came there,
Oh, weird.
and they were just being treated.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, that was one of the weirdest. Anything involving like corpses and stuff,
Yeah.
was and candles.
Yeah.
Pretty
Candles.
pretty weird
Yeah.
to me.
You see some candles somewhere, you're like, oh man,
Well,
this is this is bad.
You know, if the corpse is starting to stink up the place, you light a candle.
Mm.
Right?
Yeah, incense. Anything.
Yeah.
Something lemon scented.
Yeah. Man, yeah. That game's like environmental storytelling is just fantastic.
I like it.
It's just the idea, right, that you can tell, or you've got a sort of sense of what happened.
Yeah.
You know, that you think that just random people outside.
Talking about trees though, they got probably like the best trees in a video game, like variety.
Mm.
I'm sorry, have you seen the trees in Breath of the Wild when there's
Yeah.
3 of them that look identical next to each other?
Yep.
Yeah, it was. What's the timer right now? That's how long it takes for Nick to start talking about.
20 minutes. 20 minutes.
It's sure there's a few more than 20. All right.
20 minutes into 2020, and you're talking about Breath of the Wild.
Which gets it 20 out of 20 from me.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah. I think I did I talk about the creepiest thing I saw that I found in Red Dead?
I think you have.
I definitely posted it.
Yeah.
It was this like weird lab in the top, in the like upper floor of a building that you had to like climb on stuff outside to get into a window.
Yeah.
And it was this like weird Frankenstein lab where someone had like sewn together a whole bunch of animals into
Yeah.
this monster thing.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that stuff, and I like how they don't force you into it. Like
No,
it
it's
just
just-
looks like a regular building.
Yeah.
Like and you just see an open window.
And what I like is that the discovery is the reward.
Mm.
Like, I don't need to go in there and be like, here's a bunch of loot. That's really awesome. Here's a sweet ass gun. It's like,
Yeah.
here's a really creepy room with some weird, bizarre thing like that's going on in
Yeah.
there. Like that's
Yeah,
enough
no
reward.
ammo.
No ammo, nothing. I don't even remember what loot was in there. Probably just random, like, regular stuff.
Mhm.
But it was the whole scene was the reward.
Yeah, I've climbed to like mountaintops and just looked out onto the view,
Yeah.
and there's no ammo.
Yeah,
There's no-
you don't need.
But the view.
Yeah.
But you didn't get a Korok seed.
I knew you.
right.
If there was a Korok seed
Yeah.
there,
Oof.
oh boy.
Love it.
Well, the Zelda is funny that way though because it trains you.
Are we gonna go back
I
into
guess
it?
we are. Oh my god. Oh. You know, I played other games as well.
I don't think so.
What other game?
I played like just so we don't talk
Nick,
about
Nick,
Zelda.
you can chime in with games that you've been playing. Maybe.
Yeah.
Hearthstone.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Here's the thing. They introduced I think they introduced this several months ago. A mode called Battlegrounds, where it's an 8-player battle royale auto chess style gameplay thing, which I really enjoy, and uses layers of randomness to interesting effect. Hearthstone already does a lot with randomness. Blake's just closing a window because there are children screaming their lugs out outside.
They next door, like some of the kids really play up and they scream at each other, and then the mum comes out and has to be like, "Get inside."
They're podcasting right now. Get your butts inside. But Battlegrounds is quite interesting because it's sort of like a draft mode army builder with lots of layers of randomness, so that over the course of many games you can show your skill, but any individual game anybody can win, which I quite like.
I don't know much about battle chess, but it sounds like battle chess.
I don't know much about battle chess either, so I can't make
Because
that comparison.
it's all about the draft. It's all about like denying opponents about like getting certain characters.
You mean auto chess?
Auto chess.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, it is similar. I think this is strongly what it was based on.
Right.
The interesting things about what the Battlegrounds do. First of all, there's like, let's say 30 different characters you can choose from, but you're only shown 3, and you can only choose 1 or 2 or 3 depending on whether or not you've unlocked a special thing. So, but you only choose 1, and then everybody has a different hero basically with a special power, and then you're shown a range of units that you can buy using currency that refreshes every round. And you sort of assemble your army over time, and they have synergies, or they don't, or whatever.
Yeah.
And then every round, you're up against an opponent that you fight, and your units automatically fight. But they fight they fight from left to right, but the targets they choose are random but obey certain rules. And that means, because they're random, and because there's all these other layers of randomness, where like if a character dies, it might lob a bomb at a random creature, or it might create a random creature, or it might ping a random creature for a bunch of damage, or whatever it is. There's still enough unpredictability that you're always engaged in the outcome.
Yeah, okay.
Right until the end. And even though it's all pre-calculated as well, like you go into a fight, and I've tested this, if you go into a fight and you disconnect your game and then reconnect, it will get you back to the like unit selection screen, and it will have already calculated whether or not you win that fight.
Huh.
So it's all pre-calculated, but the way it plays out is still very engaging. So I've been playing a lot of that. Yep. That's the game I've been playing. Actually, what I did want to bring up was talking about open world games. The Witcher Netflix series came out.
Oh, right.
I'm gonna steer this one back to video games. Wait a minute.
Go ahead.
No, I haven't seen it. You guys feel free to have at it.
Oh man, yeah, you should watch that.
Is it
dude.
good?
It's really good. I really enjoyed it. Me and Nick talked a little bit about it.
Yeah.
At work.
I hear he's got like leather pants. This guy.
Yeah, it does. There was something he was wearing that I was like, this looks way too modern, and I think it was leather pants were part of it. I think
it was a
He had capris on.
Casio watch.
yeah. It was holding a bottle of water as well, and just,
Yeah.
He kept checking his
had his
iPhone.
Starbucks mug.
Huh.
But yeah, I really enjoyed it, and yeah, like you had some thoughts. About
I do have a lot of thoughts about that show. So I do a bit of writing, and one thing that The Witcher did, which I did not enjoy, was they did not ease you into the world at all, like at all. The first episode, the first scene is The Witcher fighting a creature, and then the next scene is him like walking into a pub, and then getting into some like scuffles, and then having some conversations. And in that first 15 minutes, I think you hear like 15 different fantasy names. You don't know the geography of the world. You don't know whether the fantasy names are people or towns or monsters. At one point, a character comes in and says, "How much for the Kikimora?" Which, as it turns out, is the monster that he killed. But no one. It's the first time you hear Kikimora, and the Kikimora is not on screen.
I think it's the only time that it's even said at all. And I remember thinking that because I was like, I recognize that name from either the game or the book.
Yeah.
And was like, that's the monster that they're talking about.
Yeah.
So you know.
So yeah. So I knew.
Yeah.
But like, if I hadn't played the games or read the books, I would have had a different like. I think I would have been way more lost.
Who do you think the target audience was?
nerds for sure.
Yeah, like Witcher nerds, right?
Yeah, Witcher nerds.
But,
People all played the games, read the book. They already know this stuff.
eventually, it does start to come together. Like if you watch 2 or 3 episodes,
Mm.
you start putting these different pieces together. And there's other elements I'm not going to spoil that make it quite hard to follow early on.
Yeah,
Um,
there is.
uh,
But I do enjoy when there is a point where it becomes clear what's happening.
Yes.
And I felt, I liked it though. I liked that. Like I felt like, oh, I figured this out.
I did too. I don't mind when there is, for example, ambiguity in the structure of the story. What I
Yeah.
do not like is when there is no consideration taken for word choice early on, or
Sure.
carefully introducing certain
Yeah.
elements. Like you don't, for example, okay, I have never played a Witcher game. I'm now reading the first book, but I hadn't read any of the books previously. And I knew that the Witcher was like basically a monster hunter,
Mm.
and he had special powers. I didn't know what the special powers were.
Mhm.
I didn't know, for example, that he can't feel that sort of thing.
Mm.
You learn 15.
Can't feel. What do you
Well,
mean?
that's sort of what they imply.
Well, like can't feel what? Like his skin is numb?
Well, yeah. Or
He has-
can't,
he has,
can't
like-
feel emotion. Or
Yeah,
something?
he has like
Oh, no emotion too?
he has less emotions because of like the ritual that they go through
Mm.
To become a Witcher sort of deadens your emotions a bit.
But see, I didn't know any of this, and I still don't know any of this.
But you don't need to know that.
Ritual.
He
Huh.
mentions, I think he might mention it or something.
It
like
gets mentioned about
yeah,
15 or 20 minutes into the first episode.
yeah, but
like,
it's not a major thing. Like he's not like Spock. He's not completely emotionless. It's
no. But until that point, he just kind of seemed bored.
he definitely. I think he comes off as a kind of an asshole. But
Yes.
like, I mean that. Yeah, he is.
But there's just elements, especially character elements and world elements that could have been introduced either earlier or in more clean way.
Yeah, I do agree with the geography of the world because like there's nations at war and you have no idea where these nations are in relation to each other.
Mm.
Because like Game of Thrones, right? It's all in their intro.
Mm.
You know where King's Landing is. You know where the North is.
It helps that the North is called the North.
Yeah, it helps
You
that
know?
the North is called the North.
That's that's part of what I'm getting at. Though.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of the fantasy names are grounded purely in fantasy and not
Yeah,
in,
yeah.
like how
Direction.
Yeah.
well how
Yeah.
how language actually evolves, right? Like
yeah.
we've got an area in Auckland called the North Shore. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Mm.
I mean, Game of Thrones like really ran with that, right? They've got like Eastos and Westos and
yes,
like they're named after like
After
the
the cardinal
directions.
directions,
Yeah.
yeah. But there's still ways you can sort of handle some of that stuff, like the Mountain Kingdom or whatever. You know, like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can sort of
Yeah.
build those things in. Anyway, but ultimately, like you watch enough of it and it starts to fall into place, and it's actually really enjoyable. I'm actually excited to see season 2. I liked it enough to start reading the books.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. I thought you'd already.
I literally just said I hadn't read the books.
Oh yeah, that's right.
What would get you to play the video game?
A copy of the video game.
Okay.
Yeah, are you
There go.
interested in the game now?
Yeah, you know, I might pick it up on Switch. I've heard that version's really good.
Oh, yep.
Okay. Don't play it on the big screen if you play it on Switch.
Really?
You got to play it on the little one.
You know, I don't know. I'd probably need to, at some point. You know, if and when the PS5 comes out and if it's got backwards compatibility, I'll probably pick that up.
Rumor has it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think that the console cycle for the PS4 has been too short to warrant buying one.
Yeah, it has felt short. I feel like I've just bought my PS4.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
just brought mine for Red Dead. And
Yeah.
I'm looking back on it now. I'm like, man, this game cost me a lot of money.
You're like totally
Mm.
worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. see.
Tell me, The Witcher.
Yeah.
Does he recognize that other people feel pain? Does he know this?
I think like I think he feels pain, like
definitely feel-
physical
yeah.
pain.
Mm.
But like it's more like his
That
emotions
sounds
are sort of like
Dull.
Muted.
dulled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he knows other people like
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
are happy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Can be happy.
Yeah, yeah.
and he also recognizes that he's different.
Yeah. And he very much knows that he's different because
He gets treated different.
Yeah, he gets treated differently.
Yeah.
People kind of don't like him,
Yeah.
even though he's like a necessary thing in that world.
Do you see other witches?
You
do see one.
Yeah, you do see one.
spoiler, he dies.
Do they hang out?
No.
No?
No, he
He's,
dies.
They hate each other?
you see him in a different scene,
Oh,
like
dang.
separate.
Yeah.
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 But there are like, I mean, in the books and in the game, there's a few other witches,
Mm.
and there's different schools as well because he's from the Wolf School, and there's like other schools around the place.
The Hufflepuffs and
Yeah,
stuff?
yeah, it's exactly like that.
Okay.
Severn, does
Yeah.
it interest you?
I gotta say, I'm not interested in a few things about this.
And that's one of them.
Well, like magic, I don't like how a lot of people's universes of magic
Yeah.
in the way they it's like a catch-all. They,
Yeah.
Well,
They,
kinda
they
go
handled
to
it
it.
quite well in The Witcher, I have to say.
I think they in The Witcher they laid out the rules of magic pretty clearly.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a point where one of the characters actually goes to a magic school.
Yeah.
And is shown how magic works.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then Geralt's magic is slightly different. He's got like
That's never explained, of course.
yeah, no, it's never explained
He's
ever.
got magic, different magic.
He can only do. He's exactly like in the games. He has like maybe
2
5
swords.
things that he can do.
Yep.
And he does. There's one where he can like it basically
Knock
a
people
force
back.
push.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does that a few times like
Does
that.
he cartwheel and stuff when he's like doing?
He doesn't cartwheel, but he does like spin around.
Oh, I don't like this. Man.
He's doing a lot of spinning.
All right, so I don't like that as well.
It's not like it's not
You're-
like
It's not.
it's
He's
not
not
like
doing
Phantom Menace
ballet.
fighting or
It's-
anything.
It's not like he turns into a
Hey, man.
helicopter.
Hey man, I'm just
yeah.
I'm just laying out what I don't like. But also the what would you call that? The fantasy setting doesn't do it for me.
There is some high fantasy.
There is.
There's
Yeah.
some elves in
Yeah.
there's elves in a forest that just have spotlights
Yeah.
all over the place.
That whole sequence was.
It was
pretty strange.
it was so
that
weird.
was probably the weakest part of the series.
You know, I say I don't like it, but I love Lord of the Rings. So I don't know.
I think Severn.
I don't know what's
reckon.
going on.
I reckon just try it. But and keep in mind for the
It's-
first 2 or 3 episodes, you're not gonna go.
It's also only 8 episodes, so
Yeah.
I mean you can just blast through that.
You say that, but no, I'm still watching my game show. I got to get through these game shows.
Yep. Would I
Um,
lie to you? Yep.
Yeah.
That's a great show.
Mm.
Would I lie to you?
We were, for context, we were talking about British pen-off shows before
Yeah,
the
yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
Have, have you ever watched that show Deadwood?
No.
Because I'm just thinking what
Oh,
shows a lot similar
It's-
to
I can
Red
see the
Dead.
To Red
parallels.
Dead?
Yeah.
There was one called Carnival. Someone recommended me.
I remember.
Carnival.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched that. That's all right.
It was cancelled shortly after.
Yeah. There was 2 seasons, and it was like I felt like the second season they didn't know what they're doing.
Have you heard of Game of Thrones?
I watched it mainly to know what other people in the office were talking about.
Yeah. What did you think of it?
Yeah.
How much of it
Really?
did you watch?
All of it.
You didn't care for it, but you did watch 8 seasons.
Again, there were conversations happening.
Yeah.
And-
Well, I mean, it was so much theory crafting happening for the whole like
In Game of Thrones?
yeah,
Yeah.
for years.
Yeah. Some seasons were better than others.
Yeah.
What was your favorite season? Was it 8?
Oh, this last one. Oh, I love
It was
that.
good. It was good. You heard the dragon?
Yeah.
The dragon showed his true colors.
Yep.
Um,
The dragon understood that throne was the cause of all the problems, so
Yeah.
he just like took it out, and he's like, problem
yeah,
solved.
that's level 3000
Oh.
IQ right there.
Yeah.
One thing I do want to mention. So we were watching The Witcher.
Hmm.
That there were some scenes in that show that just went on way too long. Some sequences in particular. So like, okay, I can think of in the first episode 2 scenes.
Okay.
The opening scene where
All right. Yeah.
Geralt is fighting the Kikimora.
Yeah.
And he drops his sword in the water, and then he spends it feels like 10 minutes reaching for his sword.
I didn't even notice that. This is why I think because like your wife is an editor,
Yeah.
so I think you're more aware of like
Time.
editing and time and this. I was just watching
Pacing.
it. I was just enjoying it.
Now, were you
So it
pay-
didn't feel that same? It didn't feel the same?
Like I straight up barely remember the,
Were you-
the
were you-
intro.
paying full attention?
I might not have been.
Were you like
I might have just been so excited that to start watching The Witcher that I didn't notice how long it went.
were
on
you
for.
playing something?
No,
at
no,
the
I
same
was sitting
time?
on the couch
Okay,
watching
okay.
it. It had my full attention.
The other one is in that same episode, he goes in for a kiss on a character, but the lingering before the kiss
From what I hear,
so long.
you want to go on 80% of the way and then just wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
know this technique?
he waited. He did that, and he must have waited. I think about 4 years. It was
You
a
wanted
full,
it to get straight to the action.
full election cycle before that kiss actually happened. It was
Well, again, he has dulled emotion. He doesn't know what's going on.
it just went on so long. And I think there were some other scenes
He's
later
got
on.
patience, this guy.
Yeah.
My goodness.
I think he lives longer than a normal human. So
Oh,
by his like,
Oh, so it's just everything slowed down for him.
yeah, everything is scaled to his lifespan.
No, that sequence was dumb.
Anyway,
Anyway,
it's funny because these are things that I just didn't even like notice.
That's funny.
At all.
Give me a rating. How do you feel about it?
Oh man, ooh,
2 thumbs?
I think like a 5 out of 7.
5 out of... Okay.
Yeah,
that's a perfect
score.
score.
That's a
Who used
perfect score.
7-point scale?
That's a perfect score. 5 out of 7.
Yeah, 5 out of 7 is a perfect score.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 3.5 out of 5 out of 7.
Ooh. I don't know. It was. I really enjoyed it. I haven't watched it again, but I keep thinking about watching it again.
We
So
started
that's-
watching again.
That's something.
We've almost finished watching it. Again.
Yeah.
It helps to rewatch it in the first few episodes, especially.
Yeah.
Now that
yeah.
you know the story mechanics and whatnot, but
Yeah. It was. I think
I
it
know,
was.
I'm
It was
excited
one
to
of
see
the
season
best
2.
shows I've watched on Netflix.
Holy shit.
That year. Yeah.
I still love Death and Robots.
I watched some of it. I never got through all of it.
Oh, it's good.
that was
Yeah.
a animation anthology, right?
Yeah. Similar to like Animatrix or whatever.
Yeah.
That was good.
Um,
There's a second season.
I wondered if like that thing. I wondered if they were all like
Connected.
test things of like, hey, would you like
Oh.
a series based on this?
Yep.
Because that first one, right, with the like, it was like monsters fighting or something. Like and I was like, this could be a whole series.
Yeah. It's like that throughout.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got some really cool art styles too.
so video games.
Yeah.
Okay, so I also played a game called Sunless Sky.
Yes, I think you mentioned this to me. Go on.
I can't remember if it's made by the same people that made another game that
Fallen London.
yeah. Well, actually, yeah.
I think. Is that
It
what it's
was
called?
Fallen London was their very first game that
Yeah.
was
Like a web browser.
yeah, it was like a Mafia Wars. You remember that on like that Facebook?
Yeah, but more complex. and
Yeah, but it was
in-depth and
essentially
interesting.
that where
Yeah.
you were just like clicking through like web pages.
Yeah.
And then they came out with this game a few years ago called Sunless Sea, where you're captain of a boat and you're like exploring this underground ocean.
Yeah.
And now they've got this Sunless Sky where you're the captain of a steam train exploring outer space.
Steam Train.
Yeah.
No, you lost me. Where are the rails?
There's no
explain
rails.
to me
Wait a
It
minute.
doesn't even have wheels.
It's
How
not
could a
on
train
rails.
be
Yeah.
made of steam?
In space.
Yeah, it's in space. And it's basically like the same as Sunless Sea, but like just way more polished.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's I mean, most of it it's mostly a text adventure.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
space all that interesting?
It's better than dinosaurs.
Yeah,
clearly.
it's better than dinosaurs.
Is it better than the sea?
Well, this space is like it's not like open space. It's like it feels like you're. It's not like outer space. It feels like you're in.
It's boxed space.
It is boxed
Ah.
space. It feels like you're in almost like an asteroid like cluster,
Okay.
and because you're going along like almost these like channels where on either side are just like huge rocks and like stuff in the way.
Hmm.
So it's Sunless Sea was actually way more open.
Hmm.
If Sunless Sea actually felt more like outer space because you could just kind of go in any direction and you'd just find islands and the islands you'd park up at. And
Under
then
the sea?
yeah,
Wait a minute.
you're not in the sea, you're on the sea.
On the sea.
On the sea,
Oh, okay.
you're on the sea underground.
What?
Yeah, it's an underground sea.
It's an underground sea. London had fallen into the ground,
Mm-hmm.
and it's now like on the edge of this giant like underground sea.
Mm.
and the islands that you stop at, you have like these little text adventures.
Okay.
And there's you've got different. It's an RPG as well. You've got like different stats that you can level up in, and they affect your character and things like that. And you're just playing through like just stories really, and you're trying to what I was doing was taking on like contracts, fulfilling those contracts, making money, upgrading my ship, getting more crew, fulfilling more contracts. It was cool. And it's so much more polished than Sunless Sea was.
The text is just real crisp.
Dude, I was playing it on my TV and I was like, this looks amazing. And it has controller support,
Cool.
which was great.
That's important.
Yeah, that was important. Because Sunless Sea didn't. It was Sunless Sea. Its like interface was. I felt like it was real, just like basic. Like it relied on you clicking on everything and like scrolling through stuff. And this, it's just like, it's just smoother. It's just nicer, and it's nicer to look at as well. But yeah, it's essentially Sunless Sea. So
It's 2D pretty much.
yeah, it's 2D. It's all 2D. Yeah. Top down 2D.
right.
Yeah.
How much was it?
I don't remember.
Worth it?
Yeah.
Would you recommend it?
Yes.
Would you recommend it to Saveun?
No.
5 out of 7 stars.
It's a text adventure. So no.
Yeah.
Saveun can read. He's been known to read before.
I really don't think this is the kind of game Saveun would like. There's some combat in there, but like sometimes you kind of almost want to avoid combat.
Cool.
How many Zeldas are in there?
I mean, how many Zeldas?
Yeah.
Well, I'd say a fourth of a Zelda.
Oh, that's not enough Zeldas.
I know that's not enough Zeldas. I mean, Zelda's a pretty high bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's a 1 out of 4 Zeldas.
It's 1 out of 4 Zeldas.
So,
Yeah. So I played that game for a little while.
Yeah.
And I also played another game called A Plague Tale.
uh-huh.
I heard of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's happening in China right now.
Oh yeah. Coronavirus is what it's called.
Yeah.
Coronavirus.
Corona.
Coronavirus?
Yeah, like the
okay.
beer.
It's like, holy shit, is this a time? This
I
sounds like
think
a...
you're meant to put
This
a
is
lemon
2020.
wedge in the mouth of anybody suffering.
Yep.
But you've heard of Plague Tale?
Oh yeah. It's like a mother and child.
It's yeah, that's what I thought, but it's a sister and brother.
Oh right, okay.
But yeah, it's essentially the same.
And there's mice fluid physics.
Yeah, the rats they have a real it's like an ocean. The rats act as like an ocean, and you'll throw out like a torch or something or any light source. They sort of like they
Right
like,
away.
yeah, they scurry away and they sort of like form around it kind of thing, and it's very cool. It's not what I going into this, like I knew it was supposed to be quite good because it had all these awards and storytelling awards or whatever, but I thought it was just going to be like, oh yeah, some story from like the Middle Ages when the plague was around. But there's like a supernatural element to it as well.
Oh.
Like with the rats.
With the rats?
With the rats, because I mean, rats don't act like
Pied Piper. There's a Pied Piper.
yeah. Rats don't act like in real life how they do in this game. And
Tell me more about how rats act.
they just scurry around.
Oh.
They don't swarm in waves of like.
Oh, I don't know. Have you ever seen like
Zombie rats.
They're almost like zombie rats. But it's essentially it reminded me heaps of Last of Us, because you're basically because you're escorting around this like younger person.
Okay.
And the younger person is like I think they're supposed to be 5 years old, and they're sort of like too young to kind of understand what's going on, and so they sort of run off into danger when, like, in an annoying way sometimes. But they've got like, so there's like the rats thing, like the rat plague is a problem, and a lot of those like encounters are just sort of like environmental like puzzle solving. So you want to create like a pathway of light that you can like parts the rats kind of thing, and just get through like that. And then there's a Spanish Inquisition. I think it's a Spanish Inquisition that are after this brother, and you're not sure why. And those encounters are all like stealth based. So you're just like creeping in tall grass.
Mhm.
You're throwing rocks and at things and making guards walk over there, and then you're sneaking on by. So it's a lot of like, yeah, it's stealth puzzles.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then some like I'm at a point where like the two are sort of combined. So you've got like I'm in this like sea of rats, and there's these guards walking around with torches, so the rats are like not attacking them.
Yep.
But you can like you got a slingshot, then you can like slingshot their torch out, and then the rats just swarm over the top of
Jeez.
them. It's really really cool. And it's like partly why it reminds me of Last of Us is that it's got straight up like upgrade benches. So you'll just like walk into an area after a major like section,
What are you
and then there's
upgrading?
some upgrade bench. Your slingshot.
Oh.
You've got this like slingshot, and you just like you upgrade it to be like you can carry more
Silence.
ammo.
Silence.
You can carry more stones.
Okay.
You've got
Deeper
like
pockets.
yeah, you got deeper pockets. You got like you upgrade the speed at which you can like rapid fire kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you've got some alchemy as well. So you're crafting like fire bombs and like
Okay.
different kind of like bombs and things like that. You got one where I'm at a point now where I can take out guards who are wearing armor because I've got like this type of bomb that basically heats up their armor so much that they take their helmet off, and then I can just like slingshot them with a rock and just kill them.
This gives them a real warm head.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
it's too warm.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's
What's the armor for? Like, are they sword fighting?
no, these are just like knights.
Okay.
They're just wearing like armor from the Middle Ages.
Okay, to protect them from the rats?
Well, protect them. This is just what they wore. This is just like yeah.
They're just going out to dinner.
All right, okay.
And these are
They're
like
shooting up.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
I hate wearing like collared shirts.
Yeah, me too.
Like, I couldn't not imagine
this.
how like annoying.
But this is
suit
just
of
like these
armor
guys.
could be
These
to
guys
wear.
are like soldiers. They're like this is
All
part of their like uniform essentially.
Yeah.
Like they're out in battle, so they're wearing armor.
Oh, so there's a war going on too.
There's also there's some sort of war also happening between because it's set in France and the part I was talking about just before with like the sea of rats that I was like trying to get through. It had a whole bunch of English soldiers there who were like picking through the remains because it was like a battle between France and England
Okay.
that you just stumble on after like several hours after it's happened.
Were they wearing suits of armor too?
They were wearing suits of armor. Yeah. But that's the point where I was saying that like you can shoot the lantern that they're holding and the rats like swarm over them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Are they effective, the suits of armor from
Against
rats?
rats?
Yeah.
No, not
No,
at all.
they can
Not
get
at
through
all.
them?
Rats are getting there.
What?
They're getting there.
Okay. You need like fly fishing.
Yeah, you need some waders.
Yeah, real tall boots.
Stilts. That's what you
stilts
need.
would actually be pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, but it's just a cool little like story puzzle kind of thing. Yeah, and it looks nice.
So, are you guys looking forward to games this year, 2020? New consoles coming out.
Yeah, I think I mentioned before. I would happily pick up a PS5.
Yep.
If it's backwards compatible specifically.
Yeah. Okay. You're not looking for games. You're just
Well,
okay
He
with
just wants that console just
Yeah.
to
Okay.
just have it.
Just to have it,
Fair.
then I'll have it.
You're not doing the wait for 5 games to come out. If it's backwards
your thing,
compatibility,
PS5,
it's probably
PS5. If it's backwards
Yeah.
compatible, no, I'll
Yeah,
just buy
yeah,
it and then I'll
that's fair
buy
enough.
some used games that are good.
yeah.
Or I'll just buy some new games that are good.
What have they actually said about PS5? I've not actually looked
Jack.
into
They
it.
said
Nothing?
No.
Did they even show what it looked like? Because I look up images and it's like I can't tell if any of this is
They
real.
haven't done an official announcement
Yeah.
yet, as far as I know.
Because I mean, we saw that weird dev kit, right? That
Mhm.
was like a V.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk's coming out this year.
Last of Us 2.
Last of Us 2.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Cyberpunk got delayed.
Maybe a new Zelda.
Yeah. They haven't announced.
They
the
haven't
date.
announced the release date,
Ah.
but maybe. I can hope. Probably not.
You
there's-
reckon? I reckon they would. They
probably
could.
probably going to be a new Madden.
New Madden. Oh, yo, FIFA.
FIFA. Oh yeah, FIFA.
Oh my god.
Um,
Are they still making Madden?
I think so.
After the
know-
late great John Madden.
Yeah. But are they still making them?
It's in the game. yeah. Like I think so. They're real big in the States.
I used to always hear about Madden, like when the new Madden came out, and I think it's been like 5 years since I've heard.
Did your mates get into it as well?
I think this was just from podcasts that I'd listen to.
If you
They talk about Madden.
if
and
you
I'm
know if
like,
Madden's coming out, you should email frontseatquestions@gmail.com with
Yeah.
the title Blake Why.
There's a new Hellblade. They had that at the. You guys didn't get into that game, but it was
Hellblade.
fantastic. It was like Jeez, who was the developer? Ninja Theory. Senua's Sacrifice. They had this, like,
yeah, no, I played
burning tree.
a
and
little
everything.
bit of that. Yeah,
Yeah.
man, that was a cool
There's
game.
a sequel to that.
Oh, I need to. I
And it
think
was
about that
announced.
game like kind of a lot, and I'm like, I should get back into that because I didn't really get that far into it.
Great game.
Yeah, that was a real environment puzzle game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They do some pretty interesting stuff too, with the puzzles and like visual elements and
Yeah,
shit like
yeah.
this.
I really like just the whispers.
Oh yep.
Like, you
He's
just
real
be-
paranoid.
Yeah, I actually was surprised how much I enjoyed those whispers because you just walk down to a dead end and they'll be like, "It's a dead end. You're
Yeah.
useless."
yeah. They use it to like facilitate gameplay as well.
Yeah, and I'm like, "Oh man, there's a dead end. I am useless."
It was about mental health. That
Yeah.
game.
But
I haven't played that one.
it's pretty good.
When did it come out?
It's really good.
It's a couple
man.
years ago.
Jeez. Yeah, 3
It's
years ago.
it's
4
not
years
too
ago.
long either, right? I don't
No,
think.
not at all. You
Yeah.
probably go through it in like 5 hours.
Mm.
Yeah, I think I played. Yeah, I probably played like maybe 2 or 3 hours of it.
You never been it?
The,
you
um,
never finished it?
The combat, I think, was the weakest part. There were those
some
weird-
people liked it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I remember it was just like sort of timing, and you had to just dodge and then hit. And I think I made it so that like the combat was like easy as.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
I know other people didn't mind it.
Yeah.
Shit. I had a question about Witcher, which is portals. Do they have portals in it?
Yes.
In the
Yep.
TV show?
Oh yeah. There's
Really?
heaps of portals.
Yeah, heaps.
Really?
There's a whole chase through
How
portals.
does
Yeah.
that work?
It's actually quite cool.
Yeah.
The portals?
Yeah, the way they handle portals, I quite liked.
Visually or like the actual magic behind it?
The visually, the
Okay.
way they handled it.
I think visual portals, yeah, they look really cool. Get some
Well,
glow on there.
but
You get
the-
some sparks around the
Yeah,
edges.
yeah.
They-
Sparklers.
in the show, it's like a whirling sort of air circle, like a spiral of air,
Mm.
and so like if they open a portal in the desert, you see the sand sort of curl around,
Mhm.
but you don't see what's on the other side of the portal. They just kind of run into it and vanish,
Okay.
and so it's handled quite well.
But
Okay.
there's a cool chase
There
sequence
is a cool
where
chase sequence.
people are jumping through portals
Mm.
to different locations, and it's just really cool.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Also, some of the locations in that show are just beautiful.
Yeah, it's also got a real good budget.
Mm.
It's got good production values.
Mm.
I saw a lot of criticisms about the costume design.
Oh, because there's the Nilfgaard armor looks real wrinkly and weird. It's
I
it's like
thought it
this
was
weird
fine.
wrinkly metal, I think. Or
Yeah, it looked like
it
weirdly layered leather. Or something,
Yeah,
but I thought it was all right.
it looked fine in the show, but like the production shots,
Yeah,
the shots from
yeah.
set, people were like, "Whoa, what the hell is this?" Like,
I mean, it was clear like.
but every like a lot of movies lately that have come out that have like had shots from the set and people have like really disliked have turned out to be just fine in the actual movie. Like
Sonic. Blake's just shaking his head.
Mm.
No, that was
that was a
was-
marketing
that was
ploy.
genuinely
I think.
one of the worst looking.
Yeah. Do you think that was a marketing ploy
No,
that they put out this trailer with this like
with an
purposely
awful.
purposely bad Sonic?
Why would they do that?
Because then they can change it and be like, "We listened to you," and now everyone's like, "Yeah, let's all see this movie."
No, no, I don't think that was a
I
marketing.
watched a
ploy.
whole YouTube video about.
Oh.
It was a
this-
conspiracy
this-
theory that it was a.
Yep.
No, because that's a really, really expensive marketing ploy.
It's just one trailer though. It's not the whole movie that they did. They just did this one trailer with this purposely bad Sonic.
Yeah.
But it's still a lot of CGI they have to render.
Sure,
All the animations are the same.
but that's part of the marketing budget.
yeah.
No, I promise you that. that would, no, no, that was just bad character design. That thankfully people pushed back on.
So good.
Ugh,
Yeah.
horrifying that Sonic. Did you
Mhm.
see the old Sonic?
Yeah, man.
Okay,
Who didn't see that?
Yeah, good.
A monstrosity.
Are you gonna see that Sonic movie?
Probably not.
Yeah, neither.
Maybe we'll see. We'll see.
I forgot to see Pokemon. I wanted us to all go see Pokemon and then talk about it on the podcast, and then I completely forgot about.
I saw Pokemon.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah?
Did
Nick
you
and
really?
Nick and I both saw it.
Yeah. we're like, should we invite Blake? Nah.
You talked about it on another podcast.
Yeah, mid-T gamer.
Is it any good?
It's a children's movie.
Yeah,
Like-
but is it any good?
It's okay. I really loved the special effects. I
Yeah.
thought the Pokemon looked beautiful. Like I wanted to touch them all.
Touch.
I just wanted to touch all the Pokemon. Okay,
Got to touch them all.
got to touch
right?
them all.
Yep.
Um.
In this kids movie.
The dialogue was goofy. The story was kind of dumb, but like,
Shit, I really liked it.
you really?
Yeah.
I thought it was really. Like, it was enjoyable. If I had kids, I would absolutely take them to that,
Yeah.
and then regret it for months
Oh.
because all they would want to buy is Pokemon toys.
It was really good. You should
Yeah.
watch it.
I'm actually surprised. that you-
Mewtwo's a badass.
Yeah, Mewtwo. Is
Mewtwo?
badass.
Yeah.
Oh, Mewtwo's in it.
And
Mewtwo is in it
yeah, I thought the story was like pretty decent,
Yeah.
for a kids movie. Sure.
Just watch it.
considering like the garbage that's out there right now.
Yeah.
Well, it also
Surprisingly, I don't go to
I
that many kids movies.
I still think it has no right to look so good.
What?
Because
That's like the
Pokemon is.
most. Isn't it like the most valuable franchise?
Well,
like,
yeah, I
right now?
suppose it does. I suppose it is, but like the Pokemon movies that have come out, right, are pretty like trash.
To
Movies?
date, they've all been like
Cartoons.
animated.
Cartoon. It's just a lot of cartoon trash, and it's just like at the end of the day, it's friendship is the true power or whatever.
Yep.
So
It's always friendship
yeah,
or the strength in your heart.
yeah. So like seeing it like made so well, I was like, this is just amazing.
Yeah,
Why is it so good looking?
it did look really good.
Mm.
I'm actually surprised that you enjoyed it, Saveun.
They had huge Pokemon. They had a whole bunch of new Pokemon in it
Yep.
too. I didn't really care for those too much, but like
New Pokemon.
Yeah, it's the
Psyduck was great.
Psyduck was pretty good.
it's the
Um,
originals, right? That
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's-
think that's what got me there.
I really liked the Ludoloco in the pub.
Oh,
the-
yeah.
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 So crazy looking.
Yep.
man, talking about Pokemon, did you play Pokemon? I can't remember.
The most recent
Sword or
one?
Shield, yeah.
No. I'm torn. It's apparently still like one of the top selling games
Yeah.
of the year. It's still like one of the top selling games week by week. People are just
Huh.
buying it. I've played enough Pokemon games that I have a deep understanding of the structure and formula they use for those games,
Mm.
and it is rough to like. So we played through the Let's Go Eevee.
Yep.
Let's Go Pikachu. Whatever. I think we got the Pikachu one. And so much of Pokemon is mashing the A button through
Mm.
combat.
Yep, yep.
And it's just not that fun to me. I like the Pokemon, and
Mhm.
I often like the world they make, but the actual process of playing through a Pokemon game, once you've done it like 5 or 6 times, like I have,
Yeah.
it's just like I don't know if I need to keep doing.
I think I'm disappointed with it.
Oh, you bought it?
Yeah, I bought it. I played it for quite a few hours.
Yeah.
You
You think you found it? That's right. You told me you said it was very easy, and
it's way too easy.
I had some suggestions for that.
Yeah, but I feel like, I mean, I probably will get back to it playing how you suggest, where if a Pokemon faints, they're just dead.
Yeah, basically do the Nuzlocke run.
Yeah, yeah. But like, I don't like how every Pokemon game has your rival,
Yep.
right? And I don't like how your rival is like your best friend in this game.
Oh, what?
And he also like in the Pokemon games I played in the past, you pick a Pokemon and then they pick the type that's strongest against the one you've picked.
Yeah.
He picks the one that's weakest.
Cool.
I didn't
What
like
a
it.
good guy. Are you guys still friends while you're picking Pokemon?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're battling and he's like, "Yeah, we're going to get stronger together." I'm like, "I hate this kid."
Oh, you just don't like your best friend?
Yeah, I just don't like my best friend.
Okay. Well, you're an asshole.
I think
man.
I'm the I think maybe I'm
I got
Are you
used
the
to it.
villain of that one?
Yeah.
Actually maybe I am.
Is this a role?
Wait a
Oh my! What a twist if it turns out you're the rival because you've got the stronger Pokemon and you hate the other
Oh,
guy.
shit. I think I am
Like,
the
That's
rival.
amazing.
Holy shit.
It would be so great if you made it through the Elite Four and then he beats you and
Yeah,
he
he
becomes the
comes along.
champion.
Oh, man.
But he's real cool about it.
Yeah, he's
Nice
he's like,
about
yeah,
it.
we did it. We helped each other get
Yeah, yeah.
stronger. And I'm just like,
Professor Oak's
"Ah!"
I always knew you could do it.
Well, he starts off. He's the younger brother of the current like Pokemon champion. So he comes from a family that is already like up there in Pokemon knowledge and battling and stuff. And
He was
I'm just
destined to win.
yeah, he's destined to win.
He just has to fulfill his destiny, and you're
Yeah.
the one standing in his way.
But I
You
just
jerk.
and it's like I get what you're saying. How a lot of it is you just bashing A because like I get to a point where I'm like. Unless, because now you can actually see the Pokemon around. Unless it's a Pokemon I don't have, I'm not going to bother battling it because it's just a time like.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, it's so easy.
Yep.
And I was kind of disappointed by that. And I don't like how there's no like their version of Team Rocket is basically non-existent. Like there's no bad guys.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Maybe you haven't gotten far enough.
I mean, maybe
How many gyms have you beaten?
3.
You may need to get a little farther.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I do like how at least I think it's 3 or 4 gyms that I've beaten. But the first like the first few gyms, they're all treated as like this big sports
Yeah.
event that a whole bunch of people are participating in, and like you meet all the other trainers in it, and then like you go off on the road and you meet some of them along the way, and it just feels like this big like an Auckland marathon or something that
Yes.
like heaps of people are participating in, and you're going all through the country and you loop back around to the town or the city that you started it in, and then you battle that region champion or whatever. So I
That's
like
pretty
that.
cool.
Yeah, I like that. And now I'm like supposed to move on to the next sort of region. But I'm just like I don't know, man. It's just so easy.
Yeah, I reckon you need to do a Nuzlocke run. Jake, friend of the podcast, has also played Pokemon
Yeah.
Orange, and he blasted through it.
He loved it though. I was talking to him about it, and he was just like, he was into the Pokemon breeding and everything, and he's
Yeah.
like trying to get the most perfect Pokemon.
Well, so he's playing it in a very different way to you. Okay, so
Yeah.
he lives for the end game, basically. Like he lives for the competitive side of
But
Pokemon.
what end game?
Well, there's stuff that happens
You
after
beat the gym and that's it.
No, maybe in the first Pokemon.
Well, I haven't played since
Okay, well,
Pokemon Red.
There you go. A lot of them have end games now,
Right.
like areas that are unlocked only after you've beaten.
Oh, okay.
I mean, even the first Pokemon had the Mewtwo cave, right?
Yeah.
But in
That wasn't an end game.
you can only beat it. You can only go in there after the Elite Four have been defeated.
I don't remember.
Well,
I mean,
I'm
that just
telling
sounds
you.
like it's part of the game. Like,
an end game is part of the game, right? But
at the end.
a lot of them there'll be like regions you can only access after you beat the Elite Four, and
Yeah.
they'll have their own like little like it'll be like a battle tower where it's like you battle increasingly difficult trainers and see how
Okay.
hard you can,
Yeah.
how high you can go. And this is an area with extra tough Pokemon, extra rare Pokemon. And also there's just people who like really take like actual humans who really take the Pokemon battle system very seriously and will max out perfect
Yeah.
Pokemon with specific difficult to get movesets, and they'll construct a team that
Yeah. But like I understand that, but like from what I've played of the game, there's no need to even do that.
No, not in the game. This
Yeah.
is for battling other players.
Oh, for battling other players.
This
yeah.
is the
okay.
PvP side of Pokemon.
Yeah, yeah.
Very competitive.
See, that would be interesting. I never experienced PvP, well, except for once when I took my Game Boy
Mm.
to school and we linked it up and we did a battle.
Yep.
That was awesome. But
I had one of these.
Yeah.
Did they last long, these matches that you had?
I don't remember.
Dude, mine was full of like healing.
Yeah.
Mm.
It was
Oh wow.
dude, it lasted like 30 minutes.
Well, I'll tell you, mine was quick because this was back when you had the missing no bug, and I had a level 255 Snorlax, and it knew lightning, and it just like smashed everything.
Yep. Mine was that back and forth where you just get the right Pokemon against theirs and it just
Oh,
cycled
yeah,
through.
yeah.
And
Yeah, I
then
never-
it was just huge amounts of healing
Oh,
throughout.
man.
And these lasted so long you would
So it's a
We just
war of
got
battery's
attrition.
almost out.
It's just like
yeah, we got bored.
Gotta
and
get
Wow.
some double
that
A's.
was it.
yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I'll go back to it. I think, and probably just play it with like if they faint, they're dead. because that's
Yeah.
just more interesting.
It is more interesting. And then you can get into the PvP side, and I think you'll find that all interesting. I think that you can battle people online and stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
do. I mean, I do like. I do like the world. Like,
Mhm.
there's this big open world area, which is cool. But like, also just between between towns, just on the roads and stuff. It's still very much like 2D, but it's
Yeah.
it's 3D. It's-
Great description.
yeah, I know. I mean, I'm saying it reminds me a lot of like Pokemon Red, where you know.
So, are you saying Pokemon reminds you of Pokemon?
Yeah, I guess that's.
Mm.
Why aren't you a game critic, Blake? This is
Pokemon.
With your
It's very much
descriptions.
like Pokemon. Well, I tell you,
for fans of the series.
yeah. I don't like how there's not that many original Pokemon. Oh, the original
Oh, as in like the first generation.
Yeah, the first gens.
What? Why would there be?
I know, but it's just like, oh man, I miss those Pokemon.
You went into this basically wanting to play Pokemon Red, and
I
when it was
kind of wanted to play
when
a
it was a-
remastered Pokemon Red.
then you should have got Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu. That's exactly what that is.
Doesn't have Pokemon Go mechanics though.
Yeah, you throw the ball to catch them.
Mm.
No, that means actually I prefer it because it
Yeah?
means you don't have to do tons of battling
Oh
in between.
right, yeah.
Like you still battle trainers.
Yeah.
You still battle gym leaders, and you still like regularly battle things. But
Yeah.
the random encounters in Pokemon on long grass is
Yeah.
not a battle. It's
Oh,
just
okay.
catch them
Yeah.
or don't.
Yeah. It's cool. I do like it though, and I like that you can see the Pokemon on the long grass.
Yeah.
And I like that they come out of the grass and chase you.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, we are out of time. Glad we actually got around to talking about video games eventually.
Yep.
Happy New Year to everybody listening. I want to read out a couple things here. These are both posted to Reddit. I guess Blake wants me to read these out anyway because he put them in the doc.
I did put them in there.
DJ Paragon says, shout-outs to Saveun, Blake, and Nick for their awesome podcast, Frenzy Gamer, where they talk video games and sometimes reveal some Easter eggs from Path of Exile development, and often special guests from GGG's office. I've learned, for example, that Nick is mostly the one writing the patch notes, and that it can take a whole week to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Try 2.
Oh, God.
At least 2, usually. Robert says, can confirm amazing podcast. Also check out their Xmas specials where they host RPG games. There were D&D sessions or even 2 sessions where Rory from GGG hosted his own game that is in the making. Also, massive shout out to Sav, Blake, and Nick. Having met them at the Frenzy Gamer meetup, XLCon was great, and the pizza was delish. Hell yes, it
Yeah.
was. Pizza Presto is amazing.
That was a great meetup.
Yeah, the meetup was fantastic.
Yeah, that was really fun. Also, again, Pizza Presto.
I
was
liked
amazing.
how people agreed with me about the victory conditions, and were just like, Nick, you're wrong.
Yeah.
So
You had to mention that on the podcast,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Oh yeah.
I take it back what I said about the meetup. It sucked. But yeah, no, it was awesome meeting our fans.
We
I hope
made
it
it
gets
on
re-
their Facebook page too, on Pizza Prestos.
Did-
I think
Oh,
there's a
actually, I
pho-
didn't look. Yeah,
there's
because I
a
took
pho-
photos.
There's a photo of me.
Oh,
on there.
of just you.
Yeah. With a XLCon shirt.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't
on the
even look
day.
at their Facebook.
But yeah,
Alright.
the lady there was
Oh.
like really stoked.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
it was funny. She was
Great.
really into it, and we're like telling her about the game and everything. Yeah,
And she was like, "I'm gonna tell my son about this."
and we said it was free, and she's like, "What? It's free?
How do you make money?
Yeah.
Yeah. was
That reminder always gets me. I'm like, oh yeah, it is free.
Yeah, it is free. How do you make money?"
I keep forgetting.
cool. We don't. All right. If you wanna ask us something or tell us something, if you just want to ask Blake why, frenzyquestions@gmail.com. You can also tweet at FrenzyCast. Facebook.com/FrenzyCast is our Facebook page. FrenzyGamer.wordpress.com is our WordPress site. YouTube.com/FrenzyCast is our YouTube channel. We've got a lot of subscribers there now, like 700 and something.
800 something, just past 800.
That's great. So thank you to all our subscribers. Sometimes we're on Twitch, twitch.tv/FrenzyCast. We're also on Spotify. Rate us on iTunes and tell your friends. We love it when you guys do that. And we love hearing from you, and we love you.
We're also going to try and do some D&D episodes.
Yes.
fairly regularly.
We're recording one next week.
Couple,
2
couple weeks,
2 weeks? 3 weeks?
maybe 3 weeks.
4 weeks? Is it 5 weeks from
It's never gonna happen.
now? So that'll be in 10 weeks, and you'll be able to hear that then. And also provide feedback for that. If you want to hear something, if you want more of them, less of them,
Yeah.
if you want them to be louder or quieter or with a buzzing noise constantly in the background. Just let us know.
Everyone
what you
loves a buzzing
need.
noise.
Love a buzz.
Fire
Nothing
alarm,
like a buzz.
whatever.
Yep.
We've got that covered pretty
There's been
well.
There's been like 2 alarms going
Yeah.
off this whole podcast.
If you want children yelling, we can get that happening.
We don't have any construction workers outside like
Well,
we
we-
used to. So
We'll start getting some renovations on Blake's
Yep,
place, and
yep.
we'll get that going again. Anyway, we'll be back in a couple weeks, probably. Probably.
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. Bye. A boiled tomato.
Boiled tomatoes. Yeah, I've never.
Like soups and stuff.
Oh yeah. You make a stew.
Yeah, but it's like the most like nutritious thing for you. I think. I
Yeah,
gotta send you some
I
recipes.
don't.
You're
think it is.
you're all about soup. I thought you'd be right into tomato soup.
What? What makes you think I'm all about soup? I love soup, but I'm not all about soup.
Yeah.
I'm not like, gotta have my soup every day.
Pretty sure you do.
Gotta have my soup.
You even talk about soup belly.
Gotta have my soup.
You coined the phrase soup belly. You
Yeah.
gotta be into soup if you're coining a phrase soup belly.
I also know the phrase banana mouth, but I hate bananas. So
All right. Fine.
all right, are you ready?
I had no idea you weren't that into soup. I never would have guessed it.
I mean, I like soup.
Not after
But-
you
but I
uttered
would
the
not-
words a soup belly.
Yeah.
I would not describe myself as all about
Not
soup.
after talking about multiple times how much you've enjoyed
I
soup.
do love soup belly. And I love myself a good matzo ball soup, but I'm not all
So
about
you
soup.
can see my confusion here where you're talking about it so much and how much you love it. I'm like, okay.
Well, now we're talking about soup, so of course I'm going to talk about how much I love soup. But it's not like I bring soup up all the time.
you're just waiting for a moment to bring it up. I can tell.
It's not. Look, I would say I'm all about Taskmaster because I just bring it up all the time.
Well, okay,
right?
that's true. You have talked about Taskmaster more than soup. If you could combine those two in some Taskmaster challenge.
There already was one.
Was there?
Yeah, there was one where there's a Taskmaster challenge where they had to make it across this like athletics track, in the fewest steps possible before the soup cooks.
Ah,
And then, like they're just in a public park, big athletics track, and like over the fence and then down in a different part of the park was Alex Horn sitting there with a microwave that was on.
oh my god. That show. Have you watched that show, Sam?
I might have.
It's pretty
Is
great.
it a British one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And is it that one where they have comedians on?
well, I mean
They
that
do
could be
stuff?
so many different shows.
So many British shows of that.
Comedians
But yeah, they
on,
do
have to
different
eat-
challenges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw a watermelon one. They had to eat water. Like
Oh, eat as much watermelon as you
Yeah.
can. Yeah, that one's pretty gross.
I saw that one.
It's the guy just throws it on the ground and it
Oh,
just
yeah, yeah.
explodes,
Yeah.
and he just starts like.
And then they weigh it. Yeah, and there was only one guy who asked for a knife or like took a knife in.
Yeah.
How,
Yeah,
how
it's-
would you do the steps one?
The steps one.
Yeah.
Well, now I've seen it how to do it. So like,
How do you
well,
handstand?
some of the
Handstand?
Oh yeah, because they're not
Um,
steps.
a lot of people just rolled.
Yeah, yeah.
shit.
That's good.
Some people just like took really big steps.
Yeah, like
But one guy,
sprinting.
one guy just rolled the whole way there and was like really sick by the end. Because also the track was covered in goose shit.
Oh my god.
Because they're just geese in the
Ooh.
park.
Shit.
Jeez, yeah, no handstands then.
Ah,
Do you ever find that every season there's one guy that like thinks he's really clever and sort of like overthinks challenges?
it's not every season, but yes, there's often a guy like that.
Yeah.
Do they have the same guys on throughout the season?
Yes.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Or points throughout.
Huh?
They just tally the points.
Yeah, they've
Yeah,
got
yeah.
per episode winners, and then they've got an overall winner.
That's
And then for the first 5 seasons, the overall winner of each season then went on to play in the
Very cool.
Champion of
Yeah,
Champions.
yeah.
Oh, I never saw that one.
Where so at the end of each season, except for the first one, the trophy is a giant golden head
Mm.
of Greg Davies.
Mm.
And in the Champion of Champions, they got a giant golden body to slot the head
Oh,
into.
wow. Oh my god.
That's cool.
Oh shit.
It's really a
Great.
great show.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I've been getting into this British TV show called Would I Lie to You?
Oh, I love What I
Oh,
Lie
dude,
to You.
would I love to you? Would I love to you?
That's actually
Would I lie to you is like fucking best. I reckon.
I believe
I
think I
enjoy
heard
that.
again.
I love that more than Taskmaster. Yeah, you heard me. I said it.
Fuck you, Blake.
More than soup.
Dude, there's,
Fuck you, Blake! I'll kill you.
there's so much good bands. Like the host is really great. Too.
Oh, Rob Brydon, David Mitchell, and Lee Mack is so quick,
Yeah.
and David Mitchell's so incisive,
Yeah,
and
I
Rob
like
Brydon is just the perfect
good
mediator.
dynamic, man.
Yeah, I love that show. You should watch some Taskmaster. I
I saw it.